All right, good morning, everybody. This is the class that a lot of you have been waiting for, the marketing class. So it's Real Estate Marketing 101. How many of you want to market yourselves and farm, maybe create a farm or do something just to promote your business, your existence to someone so they'll call you and either have you sell their house or help them buy a new one? All right, let's get into it. So this is what we're going to cover. Research, this is a word you're going to see throughout the whole presentation. Research pricing, areas, the research the MLS. So this is a big word that we're going to be using. We're going to talk about farming. And within farming, we're going to talk about budgeting for your farming. We're going to talk about print marketing. We're going to talk about email or digital marketing. And social media marketing. We're just going to touch on those two there, on the last two. And then paid leads. Again, we're just going to touch on that. This is mostly about farming and marketing in that, I guess, in that way or that method. So let's get into it. Confidence building. So when you're a new agent, you're a bit timid and you don't have as much confidence because you don't know the industry, you don't know the market, you don't know how to answer questions, but knowing that you're part of one of the biggest brands in the world in Coldwell Banker, that gives you instant credibility. So just know that having that backing is great, it's big. We have the tools you need, great tools and resources at your fingertips. And it's between tools that are offered through Coldwell Banker, through the MLS, and then third-party vendors that we can point you in the direction of the right tools that you can use. And the support. You have knowledgeable support here at the office between Richard, John, and myself that can help you, along with, I'm not sure if I have it in the next one, but your peers. We have about 150 agents, I think, in the office. Not all of them are active. Good morning, come on. Not every single one is active, but we have more than enough agents here, knowledgeable agents to help answer questions, and they're very friendly and happy to answer your questions. Become an expert. So you want to know market trends, know the contracts, and know hot topics regarding real estate. And when we say become an expert, we'll go into that a little further later. Sphere of influence. This should be the first, I guess, your first farm or your first target market. Do you have a cell phone? Does everybody have a cell phone? Yeah, I assume everybody does. You have a contacts app on here, right? Everybody in that contacts app should know that you're in real estate. So begin your marketing efforts with everyone in your phone book or your contacts list. Whether it's email, text, give them a call, let everybody know. Let them know you're a realtor and that you joined Coldwell Banker. People know who Coldwell Banker is. And ask them if you can include them in your marketing efforts. So maybe send out an email every month on how the market's doing, or just Orange County in general, Orange County market, interest rates, things like that, but just real estate related topics so that when they see your emails, they remember you're in real estate. I've heard too often where agents will come in upset because their family member or friend ended up using someone else to help them buy or sell a house. And when they ask them, why did you use them? Why did you use this other person instead of calling me? I forgot that you're a realtor. So it's your fault that they forget. Don't let them forget. Try to reach out to them a few times a year, offer them a CMA. Maybe they're not looking to sell, but say, hey, I'd like to send you a CMA to let you know how much your home's worth. Can I do that? I want to practice, right? Let me practice by sending you this. And yeah, sure. Who doesn't want a free CMA, right? Let them know what their home's worth. Just reach out to them a few times a year. And if they're included in your email marketing, then that should suffice. But still, reach out when you're talking to them. You can just chit chat about whatever, right? Just life in general, what you normally talk to someone about. And subtly throw in real estate related things like, oh yeah, we were in Newport. If you're talking about Newport Beach, oh yeah, I showed a property there last week. You don't have to say, go into it, but yeah, I showed a property. That reminds them, hey, they're in real estate. Or, I don't know, I had a listing appointment with a family over there. They're great, whatever, but just subtly throw something in real estate related, just so they remember. You don't have to force it down their throats. There's some people like, I don't want to bug the crap out of my friends and family, and I'm not that type of, you don't have to do that. just let them know you're in real estate and just remind them.
That's how I felt to start with. I didn't want to be that obnoxious person who brought it up all the time. But I found so many ways to put into conversations now without doing that. Particularly since, oh, what are you doing on the
What's an
weekend? What are you doing on the weekend? I'm pretty busy. I've got a couple of open houses I'm doing. And I do that even if I haven't got them.
Yeah,
And they say, oh, yeah, of course, you're in real estate now.
there you go.
And then they brought it up. You haven't brought it up, but you put it in front of them.
And it's not you shoving it down their throat, it just comes up in conversations, right? So that's great. So research, that big word we were talking about. We're gonna research pricing, right? We wanna know how much things cost to print. Good morning, come on in. We wanna know how much it's gonna cost to print, right? So, sit over there. So, are you gonna print postcards? Are you gonna print flyers? Are you gonna print door hangers? What are you gonna print? What are you gonna send out? We're gonna research mailing, pricing for mailing. Are you gonna send your mail out, your postcards via EDDM? EDDM is every door direct mail. And this is the more economic way of mailing something out. And the way this works, let me explain to you how this works. So first, let me tell you how the other ones work. So first class mail is you throw a stamp on the postcard or on the letter. Bulk mail is you have to have a bulk mail permit, which usually the printing companies have that. You can provide a list to the printing company. They'll print the owner's names and addresses on the postcard and mail it out to the homeowners. So you have a recipient and their name on the postcard. Good morning. Now, and that's gonna mail out to everybody on that list that you provide. Now, the difference between that and EDDM is every door direct mail. There's a tool on the USPS website, the post office website, that allows you to search carrier routes on the map. So when you type in 92606, it'll zoom into 92606 zip code, and then there'll be like lines on it on each street. So if you click on one of them, it highlights maybe 4 or 5 streets that are in that carrier route, and it assigns that route a number. So the mail carrier separates their delivering of the mail by routes. So it could be a street, it could be 3 streets or 4 streets in one route. It's gonna be different for every zip code. One zip code might have 10 carrier routes, another zip code might have 2 carrier routes. And one route might have 50 homes, another route might have 600 homes. So what they do with this is, let's say I selected a carrier route, and I send my flyer to my postcard to the printing company. They print this and send it to this carrier route. So what they do is they print it and they don't address it. So there's no homeowner's name or property address. It says local resident or whatever, right? And the person that lives in the property is gonna get that flyer. It's not necessarily the owner. So you might not be hitting the owners, you're just hitting the person that lives in that property. So what the mailman does, or mail carrier does, is when they get to this house, they grab this person's mail, there's a stack of flyers, they grab a flyer, put it in the mailbox. They go to the next house, they grab this person's mail, grab a flyer from up here, stick in the mailbox. Your flyer is a flyer that's stacked on top, separate from the mail. So it's included automatically with the mail into that route. And so when you drop off, or when the printing company drops off that stack of flyers, let's say there's 200 homes in that carrier route, it's only gonna be a couple stacks of 200, or total 200. So once those run out, that's it. That's all the flyers that be sent out. And the price for that is about 19 to 20 cents to deliver each one of those pieces, as opposed to bulk mail. I think it's between 36 and 38 cents a piece to deliver it. And then first class, I believe, is 65 cents or something like that for a stamp. So your cheapest way to go is EDDM. Now you can do a combination of the two. Maybe you want to hit everybody that lives there because you want to work with tenants that might be potential buyers, home buyers at some point. You want to hit the people that live there too, right? The homeowners that live there. And then you want to send out a separate bulk mail flyer to the homeowners that don't live in the property. Those are investors. you might want to send them a totally different message that you're sending the people within the neighborhood. So you're gonna send out, let's say, a postcard or a letter or something to the non-owner occupants, the investors that are renting the homes out, and say, hey, are you thinking of selling? This is how much homes are worth, or investors, blah, blah, blah. You can do a 1031 exchange. So it's a totally different message you're sending them than you are sending to people that live there. So I didn't want to bore you guys with that, but just want to explain the difference between them. And you can hit more people with the EDDM than you can bulk mail first class.
I'm doing, around the 700 and something, 750-ish.
Mhm.
And it's costing about $330. All in.
Just for the mailing?
No, that's the whole thing, printing and mailing, the whole thing, using your printers, who
Yeah.
are brilliant. So $330, you hit like 750.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then, so we're gonna talk about budgeting and what it's gonna cost coming up here in the presentation, but right now, let's stick with research. So research, pricing for mailing, EDDM, bulk mail, first class. Research pricing for social media, because you're gonna wanna market via social media as well. You could do a combination of these things. You could do printing and social media and paid leads, or only do paid leads. And then we'll touch on paid leads a little bit later. So you can either spend your money on flyers, you can spend your money on just social media and digital marketing, or you can spend your money on paid leads where you don't have to promote yourself to anybody, the leads come to you. It's really expensive, by the way. All right, so let's start with farming. We're gonna do budgeting for farming. So we're gonna plan your budget. And the example I'm gonna do here is this, well, first, decide how much money you can allocate towards marketing for at least 12 months for each month. So let's get an example of 12 months of budgeting. And calculate print costs, mailing costs. Are you gonna walk the farm, or are you gonna mail it? So decide what you wanna do. And then figure out how big your farm's gonna be based on the budget, right? So if you can only spend, $500 a month or $250 a month, you can then decide, how am I gonna market? Am I gonna just print out flyers and walk the farm? You can cover so many more homes that way because it's cheaper. Good morning, Mike. Or are you planning on mailing? And if you're gonna mail, what method of mailing are you gonna use? That's gonna determine how big your farm is gonna be based on your budget. And I'll show you that in the slides coming up. And most importantly, be consistent. Send something out twice a month. So it's not just, let's budget to send one thing out a month. Let's budget to send two things out a month, at least twice a month. We have Bolden here that sends out 4 flyers a month. He mails out 2 and delivers 2. So that's pretty damn good. First example here, if you're gonna walk your farm. Let's say I figured out my budget is $6,000 per year. That's how much I have to spend for marketing this year. And so if we divide that by 12 months, we end up with $500 a month. So my budget to market is $500 a month. Now, I want to send out 2 flyers a month, so now that drops it down to $250 for each marketing piece per month. Right? So total 500, split that into 2 separate marketing pieces, that's 250. So each marketing piece, I have $250 available for each marketing piece each month. Now, if I print flyers that I'm just gonna hand out, I'm not gonna mail them. Let's say it costs me 50 cents a flyer. I'm not sure what the prices are, but let's use that price. So with $250 a month, that'll give me 50 flyers approximately, give or take, because of taxes, right? So my farm size with this budget would be 500 homes. So with $250, twice a month, I can hit 500 homes 2 times a month. Does that make sense? Zach, you look puzzled.
Are you gonna save these slides? Or,
I'm gonna send out a recording of it.
okay, good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so this is walking the farm, right? Next example. So the farm is gonna be 500 homes. For example, January 1st, it's gonna cost me $250. January 15th, my next marketing piece $250. Total cost 500. All right,
So
Next.
you walk twice or?
twice
Twice a month.
a month.
Mhm.
Unless you just wanna do one time a month, and then you can use the whole $500 and cover just a bigger area. But it's not as effective as if you send something out twice a month. And guys, don't give up after 2 or 3 months if you don't get any calls. Sometimes it takes between 1 to 2 years to get your first listing. You're gonna get calls where people are gonna ask you, hey, how much is my home worth? And maybe they just wanna know how much their home's worth, they don't wanna sell, but they called you. So your marketing's working. Or you might get a call, stop leaving flyers on my doorstep. It's working, they're noticing you, right? All right, so using the same budget, $6,000 a year, $500 a month, $250 per marketing piece twice a month. Let's say a postcard, I want to mail out a postcard, and let's say it costs me 40 cents a piece for a postcard. To mail it out via EDDM using the carrier route method is 20 cents, approximately 20 cents per postcard. So for printing and delivering, each postcard is going to be 60 cents. Approximately, right? So you divide the 250 by 60 cents, your farm size, there'll be 417 postcards that will be delivered. So in this example, you want to look for a farm size of approximately 417 homes, between 400 or, that range. So based on this, my farm size will be 417 homes. January 1st, I'll send out 417 homes, $250 again on the 15th to equal $500 a month. Yes,
What was the farm size in the first one versus this one? So this is 417 and the other one was 500,
500.
so it's a similar price.
yeah, but this is a postcard versus a full page flyer.
Uh-huh.
So on this example, it's a full page flyer, 8.5 by 11. Maybe it's two-sided.
Okay.
And then the price for this is 40 cents per postcard. Plus the mailing, so it kind of balances out a little bit. Yes,
So I cut mine in half, the flyers.
Uh-huh.
And so then you get double the amount of flyers.
or you could just have them printed that size.
I do, what they do is they cut them for me.
Okay,
They do 2 on
Yeah.
each page, front and back, cut it.
who does that?
I have a printer by my house, FedEx.
What do they charge you
They're charging me,
for each
Well,
page?
I think it's about 60 cents a page.
So
black and
that's,
white.
about 30 cents per postcard then. You can get it way cheaper with the other printer that we use,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to Cecilia.
and it'll be full color.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So, and they'll cut them out and everything.
All
So full
that?
color, I
Okay,
think it'll
good.
be about 30 cents, 30 to 40 cents a
well,
postcard,
there you go, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and it's on thick paper too.
the good stuff. And then
All right, so now we're gonna use the bulk mail method. Bulk mail is where you provide a list and it's mailed directly to the homeowner, whether they live at the property or not. It's gonna go directly to the homeowner. The last method, the EDDM, is just going to the person that lives in the house. Does that make sense? Okay, so here, let's use the same example, price, budget wise, the printing cost for a postcard is gonna be 40 cents. Now to mail it, it's gonna be 38 cents. And you usually would have to pay for a permit, a bulk mail permit, but the printing company pays for that and they have that, so you don't have to pay for that. So to mail it is 38 cents, so combined, the price per postcard to print and deliver is 78 cents. Again, approximately, right? This is not exact. And so if you divide that, that'll get you a farm of 321 homes. But it's going directly to the homeowner. If you want to work with investors, this is the way you want to go. Because let's say you have, so I was working with investors in the city of Orange, sending, mailing to owners of 2 to 4 unit properties. So what I did is I asked the title company, can you please send me a list of all the 2 to 4 unit properties in the city of Orange? And when they send that farm list to you, it gives you a list of all the property addresses of the 2 to 4 units and the owner's names and their mailing address. So I'm gonna use that list for the mailing address to mail to the investors, right? So this is the method I'm gonna use to mail to them, because I want them to get it. If I were to mail to the 2 to 4 unit properties, they're all tenants, right? So this is what I would use for investors if you're gonna do that.
You wouldn't use this for a single family?
You can.
What would you recommend?
If to get more bang for your buck, I would do the EDDM,
Mhm.
where every home gets a flyer.
Mhm.
And then you could send a separate, let's say, in a farm of 600 homes. Let's say I don't know, 100 of them are rentals. I'm gonna send out EDDM to everyone that lives there, but then I'm gonna send a separate flyer to the 100 owners that don't live in the property.
Mm,
Totally separate marketing piece, so it might cost a little bit more, but I wanna reach them too.
okay,
So this example, 321 homes, twice a month, $500, we're using the same budget. You guys see the difference? I mean, we're getting with us on how to budget for it. So depending on how much money you guys have to allocate to marketing, you should have some kind of budget for marketing, because in every business, you have to let people know what you do, right? Let them know your contact information, have them call you, let them know what you specialize in. Okay, so now that we selected, we know how big our farm's gonna be and how much we could spend each month and for the year, for at least 1 year. Now, we're gonna select a farm. So now we know we're gonna select a farm of 400 homes. Let's say my budget allows for 400 homes. I'm gonna select a farm now. So I have to look for a farm that has 400 homes. Or maybe a couple of farms, one that has 180, another one that has, another 200 or so. So things to consider when researching and selecting a farm. Do you live or know homeowners in the area? That's always good, right? Because people know who you are. So research the number of homes. How many homes are there in that? Maybe it's a tract or neighborhood. Or maybe like, you select, there's an area that you like, it doesn't have a tract. It's between this street, this street, this street, and this street. It's a big square neighborhood. Doesn't have a name, but you know you want to farm it. Find out how many homes are in that square neighborhood, right? Research owner occupied versus absentees. How many of these are rentals? Do homeowners live in most of the homes? I mean, or are they mostly all rentals? So you have to know your audience. Research the turnover ratio. How many homes are there in the tract? How many sold last year? How many sold this is the previous year? So just look back the last couple of years to see, are homes selling? If homes are not selling, people aren't moving, it's not a good farm area. People don't want to leave it because they love living there. Research the market share among other agents. There was 20 sales last year. How many different agents listed those properties for sale? Is there a dominant agent? So from those 20 listings that sold, was there one agent that had the majority of the listings? That lets you know there's a big hitter in there. There's someone that dominates that neighborhood. That's who people call. Maybe they're entrenched in the community already. Maybe they host garage sales. Maybe they advertise in the kids' local school programs, sports programs, things like that. So people know who they are. Title companies are good, a source or resource for identifying a potential farm. They can provide turnover ratios. They call it a snapshot. So if you guys reach out to Mary with Lawyer's Title, let her know what neighborhoods you're interested in. She can provide a little report that shows you turnover ratios. They can give you an Excel spreadsheet of the farm for mail merge. So remember how I said, if you provide a list of addresses to the printing company, they can print those addresses and homeowners' names on the postcard. So when they mail it out, it's personalized, it's addressed to them. This is how you get that from the title company. They can provide printed labels for a farm. If you want to slap the labels on each postcard, they can provide that for you. The address is printed on the labels already. I don't know if anyone that does that anymore, but that used to be a thing. Now the printing companies can just print directly onto each postcard. You can find out how many are owner occupied versus absentee. So like when I said research, this is how you can find out. Ask the title company, hey, can you let me know how many of those are owner occupied versus absentee? And maybe give me separate lists, they can do that. So you get 2 lists. Specialty farms, maybe you only want to hit single family residents, or maybe you just want to hit condos, or maybe you just want to do income properties, 2 to 4 units. They can break it down that way. Any questions?
Is there like additional charge for the title company?
No, they provide this for free,
Okay.
in hopes that you're gonna use them when you sell something else.
Is there characteristics that you think would be desirable for a farm?
Characteristics. Well, turnover ratio. good schools. Because people look for good schools.
Mhm.
Well, it's everything here,
All of them.
everything that's here, yeah, you don't want a neighborhood that's dominated by one agent. But I know you're pretty tough and you don't care about going up against that that dominant agent and you're gonna kick that agent out of there, so. Yeah,
Okay.
become an expert in your farm. One way of doing this is insidetrack.com. And this is more for South County properties. Some of the North County properties, they're older homes. So they don't have the Inside Track website doesn't have the floor plans for certain neighborhoods, but all the newer homes, when you have to subscribe to this, right? So you have to pay for it, you know, and you can download the street maps, track maps, floor plans, the floor plans, and they show you how many bedrooms and baths, square footage for each model. But if you're gonna farm a particular area, you should know what each model is, what the model's called, how many beds, baths, square footage for each model. So when someone calls you and they say, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house. Oh, sure, how many bedrooms do you have? Oh, I have 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And then you say, oh, is yours the Princeton model? Oh, yeah, how do you know that? Because I'm the expert in the area, that's how I know, right? Or you could say, oh, is yours the one with the 3 bedrooms upstairs or the 2 upstairs and 1 downstairs? And now you know even more, right? Because they're like, oh, I didn't even know, they're gonna say, I didn't even know there was one with the downstairs bedroom. Yeah, that one's the Yale model, so become an expert. The more you know about the neighborhood, the more of an expert you are, right? So this is a pretty cool tool or website to use. And there's an example of a floor plan there. Any questions on this? Okay, so research, expecting your farm. So know the market. This is what to expect in your farm. You should expect to know your farm. So know the market, know the trends, and know the community. Research recent sales. You should know what sold in the last few months, what sold in the last year. Study it, know it, so that way if someone asks you, maybe you're delivering flyers one day and they're like, hey, so I'm thinking about selling, blah, blah, but I think, you know, I'd like to get this much for it. What do you think? Well, based on the recent sales, the one that sold down the street around the corner right there, that sold for this much and that's similar to your model. The more you know, the more confident you're gonna be talking to these people and answering their questions, right? And you know more than they do because you study this. Research active listings, so know what's on the market in that neighborhood. Maybe someone else listed another property, a couple other agents. And if there's any active listings in your neighborhood, preview that as an agent. You wanna be able to walk into those properties and know that this one, the pictures look better online than the house looks in person, right? So the pictures just do it so much justice. I walked into the house that looked like crap, but you know, so when someone asks you about it, you're like, you know, I've been in there, it's not, I don't think it's worth that much, right? Or you know that it's got brand new countertops and the pictures don't do it justice. It looks so much better in person, right? So just know the layout of it. You've been in the property. You can say you've been in the property. Research track and floor plan models. We talked about that insidetrack.com. Research again, know the community, know what the HOA fees are, know the amenities in the HOA, know what the name of the HOA and their phone number is, know the schools in the area, right? So when someone comes in, you're holding an open house, you should know what the local schools are. If that's your farm area, you should know this stuff. All right, let's go back. Any questions on this? No? Okay. So be an expert.
What is RPR mean on
A
school?
realtor property resource,
Okay,
it's a tool in the MLS.
okay,
And within that tool, you can select an area and then on the map, when it shows you what homes are on the market, you can select a layer of the schools that are assigned to that neighborhood.
thank you.
So what now content, right? So now that you selected, first of all, you figured out your budget, you know how many homes you're gonna hit. You found your farm, selected your farm, and now you've studied all the recent sales and the active listings, you previewed properties. Now you're ready to send something out, send some flyers out, some postcards out. What content do you put out? It should be real estate related. So You can send out a market update. I would definitely do one market update every month of what sold the previous month. So the first week of December, I'm gonna send out a market update for November. What sold in November? If nothing sold in November, we're gonna say there were no sales in the month of November, blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's a little article you wanna add to it. Back to market updates. When you send out market updates, you can only send information of sold listings, of sales. You can't advertise in actual, like active under contract pending or active listings unless they are your listings. If it's your listing, you can advertise it if it's active, if it's pending, if it's sold. But if it's anyone else's listings from another office, you can only advertise the sale price. So, well, the sale, right? So it's gonna be, most people use the address, beds, bath, square footage, sold price, maybe days on market, sold date, things like that. But you can only advertise sales. And you must include a disclaimer that says, it pretty much says that you may or may not have been the listing and or selling agent of the listed properties above, that the information was obtained from CRMLS between this date and this date. So it clears you from saying, I'm not saying these are my listings, right? So if someone tries to say, hey, you advertised that these were your sales. No, I didn't. There's a disclaimer, read it. All right, so
You don't pay attention. Disclaimer.
it's there though. You have to have it there to cover yourself legally. You can send a just listed, so whether it's your just listed, or maybe there's a listing in the office from one of the other agents here that you want to promote, you ask them, hey, do you mind if I promote your listing in my neighborhood, in my tract, my farm area? Go ahead. So you put just listed, you don't say, I just listed, it's Goldman Bankers listing. Just listed this property, here's the picture, here's the property address, whatever. So again, send out real estate related content. Yes.
If you have a friend that has a house for sale, but you're not listing it, so what kind of disclaimer would you put, if you wanted to help them out
You
as a
can't,
friend?
you can't advertise someone else's listing.
You can't?
No.
Okay.
Unless it's Coldwell Bankers.
Unless it's our listing, yeah. You can advertise it just sold, so if someone just sold a house in anywhere, you can advertise it just sold. Again, you're not saying you just sold it, it's a Coldwell Banker listing that sold. Open house announcement, so let's say you're gonna have an open house this weekend. You can send out a flyer or postcard that says, hey, I'm gonna have an open house this Saturday, Sunday from this time, bring your friends, family, whatever, right? There's some people that send out flyers or postcards that say, here's your chance to pick your neighbors. Or just big letters, pick your neighbors or choose your neighbors. And then at the bottom, hey, do you know anyone that's thinking of buying in the neighborhood? Would you like a family member, friend? Hey, this house is for sale, come take a look at it. Invite them over. So there's different ways of approaching it. Newsletters, exactly what it is. It's a flyer with maybe articles about maybe how the market's going, interest rates, things that are going on in the neighborhood. You can send out a letter or a postcard that says, I have a buyer. So this is the type of postcard that most agents send out just to try to get leads. They don't really have a buyer. And they send out a postcard or let's say, hey, I have a buyer, they're looking in your neighborhood, call me, they're ready to buy now. And then when the homeowner calls, says, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, is your buyer interested? So what do you have? Oh, I have the 3-bedroom, 2. Oh, sorry, they're looking for a 4-bedroom, but hey, are you thinking about selling your house? Let's put it on the market, right? It's a clever way of doing it, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm not telling you guys what to do or what not to do. I'm just telling you what people are doing out there.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah, but it works for some people, It's not good, it's not bad. I mean, I don't like to lie, so. Contests or drawings. You can send out a flyer where you're having a contest, like, some of the agents have a Thanksgiving dinner contest where they give away either a $100 gift card towards a Thanksgiving dinner or groceries or whatever.
If they do what?
If they send in their entry, email me your name, phone number, address, email,
Oh, okay.
and I'll enter you into the raffle, into the drawing.
Well, we already have that information because we.
You don't have their phone number,
Aha, okay,
you don't have their email address,
yes.
and once you have that information, you're gonna start compiling a list of email addresses. And guess what? Now you're gonna market to their email.
Okay,
So you're gonna hit in their mailbox or their door, wherever you're gonna drop off a flyer. and in their inbox.
Mhm.
And later on down the presentation, you're also gonna advertise via social media to the neighborhood. So now you're gonna be everywhere. They're gonna be like, oh my God, stop it.
Mm,
Right? So, contest drawings, it's a good way to compile information. It might cost you a little bit, so whether you're giving away like a dinner for, let's say for, Valentine's Day, a dinner for, a gift card to Ruth's Chris for dinner, $100 gift card, whatever. I don't know what that'll get you, but $100, right? And so, people don't send in their information. You might get, 4, 5, 10 people sending their information, but again, you're compiling a list, and then that's another way to market to them. Holiday greetings, so big message, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy 4th of July, whatever it is. So there's always a holiday that you can send out a postcard or flyer for. Self-promoting flyer, I'm the best agent in the world. I work with sellers, I work with buyers, I work with investors. I work with tenants and landlords. I've been in the industry for so many years and blah, blah, blah. Here's my credentials. So one of the first flyers I would send out is that. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is the company I work with. Maybe something personal about yourself. I have a dog. I enjoy hiking or the outdoors. Just something that'll resonate with people. That'll normalize or humanize you because they see your picture and you're just a person on a picture. They don't know who you are, right? But once you add a little bit of like a personal something about yourself, then it's like, oh, hey, I like that too. That's pretty cool, right? I don't know. Community information. So with community information, you can send out, I don't know, what's a good example of community information? Maybe something going on in the tract for the holidays. The HOA is gonna have events or maybe a blood drive, and that's another thing that's gonna come up here, blood drive. But just anything about the community, maybe the schools are shutting down for some reason or whatever it is, just anything community related. Offer something of value. So on one of your postcards, contact me to find out how much your home's worth. Free, no obligation market evaluation of your home. Who doesn't want that? I'm not obligated to use you. You're gonna send me free information? Yeah, why not? Or a net sheet, like, hey, find out how much you'll net at the close of your sale based on the CMA that I provide for you, the value of your home, right? First, let's do that, and then we'll figure out how much you're gonna net at closing. And what's the net, what you're gonna net at closing, it's the sale price minus how much you owe on your loan, minus any fees, commissions and everything, that's how much you're gonna walk away with. You can offer a class. You can invite someone here to the office on a specific day, maybe have, the example I give is like maybe a trust attorney, right? You can send out the flyer that says why it's beneficial to put your property in a trust. And then, by the way, we're having a class on the benefits of having your property in the trust on this specific day. It's free to you, so let me know if you want to join. And you can look for a trust attorney and maybe convince them to do it for free because you're bringing people to them and everybody benefits, right? He's getting potential clients or she's getting potential clients. They're getting free information on why it's beneficial, and then you're looking like a hero because you brought these people together. So that's an example of a class you can offer. Garage sale. There's a couple agencies that do neighborhood garage sales and they advertise it. They advertise it like a couple of months in advance. Within their already marketing pieces that are being sent out. And contact me if you'd like to participate. I'll put your name on the list of participants. And then on the day of, then there's a bunch of people that are, have a junk out on their lawn on the same day, and it brings people through. Personal greeting cards. Every time you meet someone, whether you're farming or just meet someone on the street or whatever, and told you where they live, send them a greeting card. Nobody does that anymore. Send them a handwritten, hey, it was great talking to you the other day. Congratulations on your kids, whatever your conversation was. Make it personal. It doesn't even have to be real estate. And throw a card in there. Cause I don't know, I think people still get happy when they see like a card, a greeting card in the mail, right? You open it up, oh, that was pretty nice. The person took the time out of their day to buy a card, write in it, throw a stamp on it, drop it in the mailbox. That's pretty cool. Sports schedules. These are pretty cool because people keep them. Usually when they get your flyers, you know what's weird is that sometimes people collect the flyers and they hold on to them for years. I got a call a few weeks ago from a lady that received a letter from me in 2022. And I'm like, how did you find me? She's like, oh, I saved one of your letters. It's going through my stuff and I found it. And that's pretty cool. Usually they throw them away, but once in a while you're gonna have those people that collect them and they save them and, they come back to them later on. But sports schedules, like a sport is around for let's say 3 months, 3 or 4 months, right? So this is something they're gonna keep for 3 or 4 months. They're not just gonna toss it in the trash can.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, because like, let's say football season's from September through February, right, through Super Bowl. So that's something that they're gonna keep for a few months, and it's got your contact information at the bottom. So every time they're looking at that schedule, oh, let's see who's playing today, they're seeing your face and your contact information subliminally, right?
Yeah.
So those are pretty good. Did you have some?
I was gonna say, I like to collect recipes, like if I get something with a good recipe.
Don't be the recipe lady.
But they're great, I like to cook, so.
So
I see
so that's cool. If you wanna dedicate a little corner to a recipe or a gardening tip or something, that's okay, but don't forget, the main content should be real estate related. Because there's been some people that send out, a whole newsletter of like cooking tips and like baking tips and
Like a calendar.
nothing
or
real
like
estate
a-
related.
Yeah,
No, I mean, postcards or newsletters, and it's like, so what are you selling,
yeah,
right?
it gets bombarded by
Yeah.
that and not the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing it for a reason, to get leads for them to call you to sell, list or buy a house, right? But when you're just giving them gardening tips or baking tips or cooking tips, it's like, okay, she's the cooking
But
lady.
you save it.
Yeah, you save it, but they're not gonna look at you as a realtor, they're gonna look at you as the
Yeah.
lady that providing
The
cooking
cooking,
tips,
yeah, that's true.
right? So make it real estate related content, like the majority of it, and maybe a little corner with a little cooking tip, right, if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Daylight savings time, this happens twice a year, so that's one thing you can send out twice a year. Right, saying, hey, remember to change your clocks on this day. So there's a lot of things you can send out, these are just examples of what you can send out. A letter to investor owners, just like the letter I sent that I got a call on, right? Lady that said, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, blah, 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 whatever. This works.
What did it say? The letter,
I don't have it on me, but I think I have an example of a letter
okay?
that I sent out. So it's pretty much telling them, here's an example one, this is for investors. Actually, this wasn't for investors, this is just for homeowners in a particular area. Let's see, so this one says, inventory is low and demand is high, making this an ideal time to get top dollar. And then regarding 700 West Levita Avenue, number 8 in the city of Orange. Dear, and then the homeowner's name. Listing inventory is low, sellers are receiving multiple offers on their homes. This is a great opportunity for you to get top dollar for your home. The 1-bedroom units are selling in the mid 400s, the 2 bedrooms are selling in the mid 500s, and the 3 bedrooms in the mid 600s. Contact me if you've been thinking about selling. I can also give you a ballpark on how much you will net from the sale. It's got my picture, my contact information. So letters work because people have to open the letter. They have to open the envelope. Like, they don't know what it is, right? They just see it's addressed to them. They open it up and like, oh, is this a bill? Is this like, what is this? And they open it up, they're gonna read it. They're like, oh, it's real estate, trash, right? But they opened it. And usually things that they have to open, people keep them.
Yeah.
So this is what I would send to investors. And once in a while, I'll send a postcard here and there with the market update. But that's an example of something. So investors open letters. Any questions about any of this?
For the contest and drawing, how does anyone know they went through with it?
Because, oh, thank you for pointing that out. So after you have the contest and you select a winner, on your next marketing piece, you're gonna put on there, hey, congratulations to so-and-so, winner of my drawing.
Okay.
And then what, like Holden does, he takes a picture of them, of him handing them the gift or the, whatever the prize is, and he puts it on the flyer. And then people in the neighborhood, they're like, oh, I know that person. So somebody did win, it's not just someone trying to collect information. And after they see that, the next time you send another contest or drawing out, they're gonna say, oh, okay, this is real, I wanna enter. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. But that creates another marketing piece, right? Anything, guys? Nothing? Let me show you some more examples here. This was like a market update I sent out. You guys can pass that around. This is another market update. This one's for income properties. This is a flyer that Holden hands out in his neighborhood. Yes. So you guys pass it around. So, what Holden does is when he walks his farm, he does a whole page flyer and he staples the rubber band on the corner. So that way he can just put it on the doorknob. What other people do is they stuff it in like, you know, a little crease of the door or whatever it is, and when they open the door, it falls.
Yeah.
It's messy. This is actually pretty cool. It takes the time to do that. So if you're gonna walk the neighborhood, you could do something like that, or get some door hangers. Right, you can get them printed already with the holes in them, and you just put them on the door handle, on the doorknob. So just an idea of different flyers there. Sorry, you guys can't see it home, but you'll see some examples coming up here. Create a calendar for the whole year, right? And have on your calendar what you're gonna send out, when you're gonna send it out. So that way it reminds you a couple days before, hey, it's time for you to start your market update flyer. Cause trust me, life gets busy and you forget. You're gonna be like, unless your calendar's reminding you, you'll forget about certain things, right? So on the first week of every month, we want to do the market update on the first day of every month. Create the market update, send it out. And then on the 15th, maybe I want to send out a newsletter. And then so I'm gonna create a calendar for the whole year as to what I'm sending out, when I'm gonna send it out. And then maybe on the same calendar, I'm gonna add my social media marketing calendar on what I'm supposed to do, what I wanna do. So in this example, the blue text is what I'm gonna post on social media. The red text is what I'm gonna mail out. Okay, let's move on. Here's the just listed, just sold postcard and a flyer. So the one on the left, this is I guess the back side, and then the front side is gonna have the mailing information and, you know, your contact information. And then the other one is a full page flyer like the one you guys saw here, where Holden staples the rubber band and then puts it on the doorknob. Market update. This is one of Shweda's where she lists all the homes that sold in the past month. And then here's one of Holden's, where he's got the market update section in the middle for the previous month. And then properties that he sold on the top. And then the mailing side is the back of this. And then here's an example that I did with Masu, where we sent out market update for income properties in Costa Mesa. So there's different ways of doing it.
Is there a reason why, people in the office decided to team up?
You can team up, you can talk to someone and if you want to team up with them. Sometimes because it's different languages.
Oh.
It could be because there's someone that speaks Chinese and you're gonna hit a Chinese area and you'd like to have someone that speaks Chinese or Spanish. Or maybe they're an expert in the area, or maybe they're newer, or you're newer and they're experienced and you want to combine your finances to, you know, so it'll be less of a hit for you. I mean, there's different reasons why someone would team up. Here's the time change, that's the old logo that we had. Reminding people to change the clock, the time, and then also a reminder to change the batteries in your smoke alarm. Newsletter, here's an example of a newsletter. The topic on this one was the importance of home inspections. And this is a two-sided flyer, I didn't put the backside on here, but just an example. Other informational type of flyers, new laws. So here's more things that you can send out. Maybe there's a new law for investors or ADUs is a big thing right now, so maybe you can send out some information on some ADUs. Local directory. These are pretty cool. This is one that people hold on to, because if you do a neighborhood directory of this phone number for all the schools, the elementary school, middle school, high school, the hospital, poison control, police department, HOA, and the phone numbers, and just important phone numbers, right, for the neighborhood, and then include yourself on that list, local realtor.
Pet hospital.
Yeah, pet hospital, yeah, whatever you want on that list, but this is something they'll keep. I mean, I know everybody's got Google now, but
Put it on your fridge, huh?
yeah, that's where they're gonna keep it, just like the schedules.
Mhm.
Floor plan information. Services you provide, I guess we talked about that already. Mortgage rates. Update them on maybe interest rates are dropping or something. Here's an example of vesting description. This is a flyer that I got from Mary from Lawyer's Title. And it just shows the different ways of vesting in a property and what's the difference between each one. Here's an example of contest. Garage sale and a contest, so these are both holdings. And I don't think anybody mails these in anymore.
Mhm.
They just email him, but he still puts that in case
What
they
is
want it.
that? Holden's Be My Valentine Enters Wedding.
Valentine's gift basket.
That is so funny.
That was an older one. I don't think he has those anymore, but that's just an example of how,
That's still so funny. That's great.
So create your brand. You already have a big brand in Coldwell Banker backing you, right? So create your own identity. What kind of agent are you? You can pick specific colors for your branding. So branding isn't just design, it can just be color. And the example I give is like maybe you create pink flyers, right? They're this bright pink. So anytime someone sees that pink flyer in their mailbox, they know it's you. I'm not saying go use pink, but that's an example. That's something that's gonna stand out. An agent logo. You can create your own agent logo. You can create a tagline, like I sell dreams. We had Sylvia Jonathan, one of our agents, she called herself the real estate matchmaker. And she put that's her tagline, right? Create a flyer template. Maybe there's a specific look, like this is what Holden uses for his flyers. So when people see this, they know this is his flyer, right? Niche markets, maybe you wanna market to military, to the military, to teachers, doctors. These are groups that are like very tight. So let's say, for example, you work with the veterans or people in the military, they're gonna refer you to all their people, right? And that's pretty good. Teachers, same thing. Doctors, nurses, they refer whoever they use to their people and niche market, right? A personality, so you can be the investment agent, that's what I was doing. A luxury agent, I sell properties, I'm sorry?
You're not doing.
No, I'm too busy here. I still do stuff when I get it every once in a while, but no. You could be the luxury agent, right? Maybe I sell properties in Corona Del Mar and, $5 to $10 million properties. The agent who's involved in good causes. I volunteer. Maybe that's a good way of you getting in with different organizations and maybe getting business that way. Community involvement. Sponsor a community event, school event, or a fundraiser. And by sponsor, I mean, sometimes they'll call you up as an agent and say, hey, would you like to purchase an advertised ad in our program? Or an ad in our yearbook, or would you like to place your banner on our baseball field and you pay us $1,000 for the whole season to have leave your banner out there? And people do it. As people drive by, they see your big banner out there. That's the way of doing it. Advertise on the local high school sports programs and yearbook. Coordinated community garage sale, we talked about that. Host real estate related classes or seminars. We talked about that. Poster organized a blood drive. We have an agent that was doing a blood drive twice a year. He's not doing it anymore now, but he would get to meet a lot of people. All he had to do was organize it, right, and promote it.
Ran out of blood.
I know, I'm thinking that.
For holidays, this is pretty cool. Not a lot of people do this anymore as often, but you can hire Santa Claus, someone dressed up like Santa for the park in your farm area. And invite the neighbors, right? So when you send out your marketing, say, hey, on this day, at this park, we're gonna have Santa. He's gonna be taking pictures with the kids, so bring your camera. And all you have to do is have Santa sitting there in a chair, the kids sit on their lap or next to him, gives them a candy cane, take a picture. And the parents, they love this. Thank you, this was so great that you did this, oh my God, we love you, blah, 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 whatever, right? Because now they don't have to go to the mall and take a picture with Santa.
It's like-
Now, yeah, you brought Santa to them. For Easter, you can do an Easter egg hunt, have somebody in bunny ears go around and whatever, take pictures with them, but they love this stuff. Now you're involved in the community, you're doing pretty cool things for them, right, and their kids. These are pretty cool ideas.
Some agent in Church of Art is, her name is Lisa. She runs, food day event every Halloween.
Mhm.
Almost families go there.
What does she do, like a barbecue or something, or?
She brings the magician, like, you out candies. So
And everybody knows it, right? They go every year.
Houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
There you go. So it works. So the 3 C's for real estate marketing is content. Content's the first C. Inform them, educate them, update them. You wanna make sure that your content is doing one of these things. Or all 3 things. The second C, call to action. Give them a reason to call. Contact me for a free market evaluation. Call me if you're thinking about selling. Email me if, whatever. So you want to include 2 to 3 call to actions on every flyer. Call me, contact me, email me. That's a call to action. But give them a reason to. And consistency. Send it out at least twice a month. And don't give up after 2 or 3 months. Please. So you're just gonna waste your money. Stay in the face, print marketing, email marketing, social media, until they get tired of you. Or you become a celebrity in the neighborhood. Holden was telling me that this new area that he's farming, I bring him up a lot because we're friends, I talk to him a lot, we're friends, and he shares these things with me. And he said that he was farming and a guy pulled up, stopped his car, and he walked up to him like, what did he do? Did he tell you, stop farming stop leaving junk on my door or whatever? He's like, no, it was the opposite. This guy came up to me and said, hey, you're Holden, right? I just want to shake your hand. It's nice meeting you. I get all your flyers. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So you kind of become a little local celebrity.
After those shows in Netflix, I guess. It
What-
became more popular.
what
to be a
shows?
realtor. You know, the Selling Sunset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you know what? When you farm, so these are all some great things, right? Like you're getting excited about farming. Just know that there might be some people that call you and say, hey, don't leave flyers on my doorstep anymore, or you might get chased by a dog. I've heard stories like that too.
Really?
I'm leaving a flyer and the dog's chasing you.
I think I told you, the first printed thing I did, I ordered the wrong thing.
Yeah,
So I ended up with these big kind of flimsy things I couldn't really do very much with. And the area that I was going to farm, I was going to go around and hang on door handles. I think I told you. And I got about 100 houses in and saw a big sign saying no soliciting.
Oh, shit.
So I bet not. So I stopped. I thought I've got 400 or 500 of these things left. What am I going to do with them? So I did a letter about myself, introducing myself, and did a nice letterhead, the whole thing. Sent it out to, say 500 or 600 people. And I got one response, which was, please stop sending me this. But now I'm doing the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot more efficient. But the thing with Holden, he spends a lot of money doing this because he makes a lot of money. But he told me he's a really nice guy to talk to. It took him a year or so to even get his wheels rolling. So what you said about not giving up and being consistent is absolutely the case.
You said you were doing, what order are you doing now?
The EDVA.
Which is the,
the every door direct mail, the carrier route version, where
oh,
every house gets the flyer. It's not addressed to the homeowner, it's just
The
everyone
current
that lives, yeah.
resident. Mhm. Okay,
But
Very
that,
nice.
the thing you bring that up, there's some areas that are either gated communities that don't allow you to drop off flyers. And also some areas that are condos, that you're gonna see signs like that are like all attached community condos.
It's all part of what you
No,
said at the beginning about research. You have to research all this kind of stuff.
well, if you can hit the same, close to the same amount of people through direct mailer,
Yeah.
it might be worth it as opposed to
Oh, yeah.
knocking on the door.
Yeah,
Or not
also-
knocking, excuse me.
So
leaving
another
the
thing
door.
too, when you're doing research is like well, a lot of communities, neighborhoods are gonna have different sign requirements too, especially if they have HOAs. So that's another thing you're gonna wanna know, that if you get a listing there, are there specific requirements for sale signs? Because you can't use your standard signs. Maybe they have brown signs that every realtor has to use. You can't have your big giant signs. So research that as well. Open house signs too, you can't use typical open house signs, you have to use whatever they say that you can use. HOA's gotta love them, huh?
Mm,
All right, so now that we covered print marketing, does anyone have any questions on that? It's a lot of information. Okay. So email marketing, we're just gonna touch on it. Moxie Engage or Moxie Impress. These are found in My CV Desk. They're tools, CRM tools that you can use to send out emails. Prospect Square is another one that we provide. MailChimp is a free, this is what I use, MailChimp is what I use to send out the office emails. So when you get the emails about the office meeting, about the trainings, I use MailChimp to send that out. And it's free up until a certain point. I think once you have so many subscribers, I mean, so like a list of so many people, they start charging you for it. Or if you want to use some of their advanced services, then you have to pay for it. Right? So Constant Contact is another one, another paid CRM that you can use, or email marketing tool. One thing you can send out is a monthly newsletter. I believe with Moxie Engage, there's a newsletter that goes out automatically that you have to upload your contacts to and set up to send that newsletter. And Coldwell Banker automatically adds a little bit of content to it, and you can log in and add your own content to it for yours to go when you send that out. Just as it just sold open house announcements, same thing. Once you get that email list, you compile that email list, whether it's from your contacts on your phone or from the people that enter the drawings. Now you can start sending these emails out to them. E-card, birthday, holiday, special occasion. If you talk to someone, you find out when their birthday is, send them a birthday email. What's happening this month, a list of events for each month. I know Lori's Title has a flyer they put out each month that has events going on in Orange County, throughout Orange County. So maybe that's something you can send out or create your own list. So something you can email out again is interest rates, market updates, maybe partner up with the loan officer. Seasonal safety tips. That's something that you can find on Moxie Engage and Prospect Square. Drip campaigns.
I do have a question on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Things like MailChimp and Constant Contact, there are rules as to what people you can contact with that to avoid being.
They have to be people that
spam.
share their information.
Right, so it can't be something that you just get off a list from Mary. It has to be.
Mary doesn't give you an email list.
Well, that's what she doesn't.
Yeah.
So any emails that we collect at open houses, for instance, we use it for
They
those.
gave you their email.
But if we just find them somewhere else, then
Yes.
no. Thank you.
So drip campaigns, do you guys know what these are? Anybody? No? Okay. It's not like when you get sick or anything like that. It's, so a drip campaign is a series of, it's a campaign, email campaign with a series of emails that are scheduled to go out. So you might have a drip campaign for buyers. You're working with the buyer, you set them up with a drip campaign for buyers that we have set up. Once you add them into the list for the drip campaign, they get an email the first day. And then they'll get another email maybe 5 days later. These are all preset emails. then they'll get another email 7 days later. There might be maybe 7 to 10 emails within that campaign that automatically goes out on your behalf to whoever you assign to that list. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first email that goes out might say, hey, welcome to your purchase home buying process, you know, I'm here to help you, blah, blah, blah. And then the next one will go out 4 or 5 days later saying, hey, I hope that so far the process is working for you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, blah, blah, blah. And then the next one might be, have your finances changed? Do we need to get you pre-approved again, blah, 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 whatever. It's just an example. That's not what it says, but it's an example of emails that might be going out within that campaign. That you have to set them up once. So you set it and forget it. Right? And you just email that person 10 times within the next 2 or 3 months without having to do anything. Just set them up originally. So there you go, set it and forget it. Prospect Square has this, and so does Moxie Engage. And they have buyer campaigns, seller campaigns. They have a campaign for like holidays, seasonal. So there's one that has every single freaking, like a little overboard, I think, on all the holidays throughout the year. You can omit some of the holidays that you don't want to be sent out, but you have Christmas, you have 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Kwanzaa, New Year's, bunch of different holidays, but again, you can uncheck the ones that you don't want to go out. So there's something almost every month, right? So if you add everybody that you have on your list to this campaign, I would do that. Because it's saying, hey, Merry Christmas. And there was times where I get emails saying, hey, you know, Merry Christmas to you too, and I'm like, I didn't even know that, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, the campaign emailed that.
Just kidding.
So just remember that if you set someone up, that these are going out. Because you might be like me, like, did I email them? Am I losing it? What's going on? So there's other campaigns like home security tips. Again, this is information that you know, it looks like you're sending them some pretty good, useful information. Energy saving tips, right? Any questions on this? And these are all preset, so
What
you don't
is
have
the
to.
difference between Moxie Engage and Moxie Impress?
Moxie Impress is more of a, Moxie Impress is marketing a listing. So it puts together flyers for you, postcards, design, things like
Or
that, for that listing. Yeah, where Moxie Engage is a CRM. Social media. Again, we have a class on this. Cecilia does this class. We're just gonna touch on it really quick, but this is another form of marketing. Make sure, you know, you have a website and social media. So just know that with Coldwell Banker, you get a free website. I hope you guys are all taking advantage of it. And make sure that you add a bio to it, add something about yourself. You don't want to go into the website and there's nothing about you there. It just shows your picture and you can go ahead and search. So at some point, you guys can sit down with Cecilia and say, I want to personalize this a little bit more, add a bio to it, something about yourself, maybe what you specialize in. I work with buyers, sellers, investors. I do everything. Oh, by the way, when you're advertising the list of services that you provide, I would put that on every flyer, by the way. So along with your market update, whatever information you're sending out, say, contact me if you're thinking of buying, selling, leasing, investing, right? Because you can do it all. There was an agent that was here years ago that farmed a particular neighborhood, and he was farming there for years. Everybody knew who he was, including one of his friends that lived in the neighborhood. And it was around the time when short sales were big. And he found out that his friend listed with another agent. They were like best friends. And he was like, is he mad at me? Like, what did I do? Like, why would he use someone else? So he confronted him, hey, why didn't you list with me? Are you mad at me? Did I do something? He's like, no, that agent works with short sales. I didn't know you worked with short sales because none of your marketing says that you work with short sales. So after that day, he started adding that to the list of things that he can help with. But it's amazing that because he didn't advertise it, he didn't call him his own friend. So that's why I always say, when you're gonna send out any marketing, I can help you buy, sell, lease, invest. And if it's short sale season, I can help with the short sale. It's not yet, so.
His friends was lying anyway.
Yeah, you probably didn't want to use them. So when you add your bio to your profile page on the website, get a personalized domain name. Most of you guys have a personalized domain name, which is really good. So we don't have to worry about that. Use an updated recent photo for all digital platforms. Make sure that you have an updated picture on everything. Don't use your picture from like 10 years ago. Or the glamour shots is what realtors are notorious for, the blurry ones that don't show any wrinkles and stuff.
Mhm.
That it's all like
Yeah.
Hollywooded out.
I was gonna ask you something. Some time ago, you sent out a thing that you got somebody who would come in and do bulk
Yes,
shots, and it was a very good price, and there weren't enough takers for it. I'm wondering if you were planning to try and do something like that again, because I definitely need a better photograph than one I'm using. And I thought, while there's all newbies here, you might get a bit better.
if I can get 15 to 20 people, I can probably have someone come out.
How much does he charge around?
It was like $100, I think.
Not
100,
bad.
125 or something like that. per
Yeah,
person.
which wasn't bad at all, but you, at the time, I think you needed a minimum of 10 or 15, I can't remember.
Yeah,
But if you were gonna try that
a
again,
bunch of people were asking me about it.
I would.
They were asking me
definitely-
for weeks and weeks. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then when I sent it out,
Yeah.
there was just a couple people that were interested. And I was like,
Oh, yeah, I
okay.
remember that.
I had to
I
cancel it.
can do a photo shoot, so I told you,
You can?
for half price, yeah,
You're in the office?
yeah,
You can do the photo shoots. You're a photographer.
let's say amateur.
Right,
Yeah.
no, I'd rather pay somebody who can do it properly, that's the whole point, is to get a professional one, sorry.
Of course, but you know, it's just not a big deal, it's
Yeah.
because the most parts you're doing on the computer.
Yeah.
No, the best photograph I ever had was done by somebody that's what they did, a previous gig I was in, and I can't keep using it because it's nearly 20 years old now, and I look great.
Exactly. So you need a new picture.
I look great in it, but I can't use it anymore, my hair was a totally different color.
And that's the reason I say here, use an updated or recent photo.
I just think for, you know, for 100 or $120, I would certainly be in if you wanted to do it, try it again. So,
A video profile or a video of yourself, introducing yourself and what you do adds another dimension to it. So instead of just the example that I like to give is our old sales manager, Ted. He's an ex-cop, he's a retired cop, and he just has this look like, he just looks like a. He looks like a bad guy, like a mean guy, like a tough guy. I don't want to use any profanity, right? So, but when you hear him talk, he sounds professional. He sounds like he knows what he's doing, like he's been doing it for years, right? So if I just looked at his picture, I just got this.
Yeah.
But you talk to him and he doesn't. He sounds great. So he had a video on his profile page before. Hi, my name is Ted Petropoulos. I've been a broker in this industry for so many years, blah, 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 blah. And it just, I want to work with that guy, right? So now it changed my mind from looking at his picture to watching this video on what I thought about the guy. So if you can add a video, and just be yourself, introduce yourself, say what you do, that would be great. And you can add a video to your website too. Use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. TikTok is like the biggest thing now. And Twitter to broadcast your new listings, just sold, awards, tips, etc. So use social media, guys. I don't know if it's gonna get you any listings because you posted something, but it's gonna remind people that you're in real estate. So this is another way of reminding your contacts and sphere of influence that you're in real estate. You're
Well,
posting these things.
If we go to like the broker's previews, then can we use that content that we film there, or does it have to be,
If it's our listing, Yeah.
Do we host brokers previews often?
some of our agents do when they have a listing. Not everybody does, but some do.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look on the MLS every Wednesday to see what brokerage previews are out that day. And then see if there's any of our agents that are hosting.
And then, if not, we can go to
You could tour it, but I wouldn't put it up on,
social media.
yeah, because you don't have the owner's permission.
True.
Even if the agent says, oh yeah, go ahead, I still wouldn't do it.
Okay.
So Moxie creates a property website for each one of your listings. This is another pretty cool thing, right? So once you have a listing, it automatically like, Moxie Impress. It'll create a listing website with all the pictures, but it grabs everything from the MLS. So once you add the listing to the MLS, it's gonna pull the pictures, the pictures, the content, any 3D videos that you have on there or matter reports. And it'll create a website, so you can either post that link on Facebook, or you can email the link to, to your clients or whatever it is and take them to the website, but it has your branding at the bottom, Coldwell Banker logo, and it looks like you paid someone to do it. So. Contact their social media specialist to help. There's your contact information. Again, we're not having a class next week or the following week, because next week is Thanksgiving. We're gonna be closed, and then the following week, we have a Christmas party on that day, afternoon, so she's gonna do the class after that. I don't know how many of you guys are interested, but it's pretty good information. All right,
1 second. No, can you go back?
Oh, yeah.
please? Right.
you're meeting with her today, no? Oh, you're meeting with Mary today.
Mary,
Yeah.
thank you.
So with social media, promote the town, not just the house. This is important because you have a broader audience, right? So when you're promoting your new listings, say, hey, this listing's got blah, 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 but also great school districts where, a couple miles from the beach, we have golf courses, blah, 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 all these great things around here to let people know it's not just the house you're selling, it's the neighborhood. Be yourself. Don't be like this fake, some people turn on the camera and they turn into like this totally different person. Educate your buyers with your posts. Chat with your followers. So if someone's posting stuff, you chat with them. Respond to any comments, whether they're good or bad. So someone might say, I don't know, something bad about you. Say, I'm sorry to hear that. I'd be happy to talk to you about blah, blah, whatever it is, right? So respond to the comments. Don't just leave them unattended to. Don't forget video, add video to it, not just pictures. Never assume you're only connecting with first-time buyers. So whatever information you put out there, put it out for the broader audience, not just first-time buyers. You can put out content for first-time buyers, but also put out content for experienced homeowners. Don't ignore your existing clients. So if you have clients that are following you on Facebook, like their posts, comment on their posts, engage with them, right? Again, contact Cecilia, she's gonna have a whole class on this. She can help you set up your own social media page.
That's our call to action.
Sorry,
That's our call to action.
that's the call to action right there. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about generating leads. Cloud CMA has a pretty cool tool. It's the home price evaluating landing page. And let me show you what that looks like. This is something you can post on social media. So you can copy the link and then, let's see. Let's go here. When you're in the MLS, you're gonna click on the external links section down here on the bottom left. Click on Cloud CMA. And when you're in Cloud CMA, you're gonna click up here on the top right hand corner. You might not have your picture, it might just have a circle there until you upload a picture, but click on there and click on lead generation. And then this automatically creates a landing page for potential home sellers. I'll show you what it looks like. Let me click on view landing page. This is what this looks like. So what I would do, I'll tell you what it is in a second. I'd copy this and I paste it into a Facebook post and type a message like, you wondered how much your home is worth? Click here, to find out. And then what someone can do here is type in the property address. Give me an address, anybody.
17442 Oak Street. Fountain Valley.
Okay, so I'm gonna select it from the list and I'm gonna click on search. So I'm the homeowner or whoever it is, right? And I'm looking, I'm gonna click, okay, so we found it. There it is right now. And then it's asking, okay, what's your name? What's your email address and phone number? We'll send you a CMA. So what this does, it's pretty cool. It creates a CMA. based on the data around the sales around the neighborhood, this particular property. And so it's not like a clean, perfect CMA valuation, but what happens is they receive an email, hey, your CMA is ready, take a look, blah, 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 whatever. But you also get an email, you get notified, hey, this person asked for a CMA, this is their name, this is their email address, this is the property they asked for. And then what you can do is you can then create like a more accurate CMA and reach out to them via email or phone call. Hey, thank you for logging in and asking, inquiring about the value of your home. What the system sent you, what I sent you is just a quick and dirty CMA. I have a more accurate a CMA that I'd like to share with you based on recent comps, blah, blah, whatever. When can we meet? Or you can mail it to them, or you can email it to them, whatever you want to do,
How did they get to your link though?
because you posted it on Facebook.
Okay, and then you can market that other places too, right? Or just,
Yeah, so what you can also do is you can buy a domain name for it. And then forward that domain to this. So like, let's say, let's say irvinehomevalue.com. It's probably already taken, but let's say you buy that name.
okay,
And now you set it so that anytime someone visits irvinehomevalue.com, it takes them here. Now on your flyers, you can say, are you wondering how much your home is worth? Go to irvinehomevalue.com. So now you're promoting that. So
okay,
you have to let people know to go there.
yeah. Can we put it on the website for public?
Your website, you
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can do that. But so then what happens next is that you as the agent receive the email, right? Saying, hey, this person's asking for CMA. And now that's a lead. Because they want to know how much their home's worth. What do you do with that? They might be thinking about selling, right?
I think you can also put it on your Linktree. Linktree.
Yeah, I didn't.
So that's a pretty cool lead generation tool. The other one, let's go back to the presentation here, is, that's what that one is. The other one is Corfact. And I love this Corfact website because with Corfact, where do I have it? It's corfact.com. And this website has a bunch of templates for flyers that you can send out, postcards that you can send out. And the one that I love to use here, and this is not something you're gonna use every time. This you might use once a year or twice a year because of the price and because of the tools involved. So once you go to the website, on the left-hand side where it says featured, I click on, where is it? Postcards. And I click on home estimate map. And then it gives me, what was that? It gives me these templates here. Look at that. Do you guys see this one here looks familiar right there? It's this one. So this is what it looks like on this side and then the mailing side. Now, what this does is when you upload your list from your farm area, let's say your farm area is 400 homes, you're gonna upload that list into this program, into this website, and this is gonna print and mail a postcard to each one of those homes. And then on the map, you see the map here, it's gonna have a pin on their house on the map, which makes it even more personalized. So this little pin on this flyer here is this homeowner. No, that's me. That's where they live. So it shows them on the map, like, oh my God, that's my house. And everyone's gonna have the pin on their house on the map. But it also has a QR code that they could scan, or they can go to this website here, realestimatehomeprice.com, and they have a custom code that they can type in. So when they type in that code, it's gonna take them to a real life CMA of what their home's worth. So, for example, let me show you guys.
It's really cool.
Let me go into my account. I believe it's contacts manager. And here it shows you anytime that you get an email, anytime somebody scans that QR code, by the way. And it tells you who scanned it. So when let me show you guys down here. When you go into it. So let's say this person here I haven't set this up since 2022, by the way, so as you guys can see here. So this person scanned the QR code, and let me show you, let me view, impersonate, I'm gonna impersonate the recipient of it. So when I click on that, this is what they see when they scan the QR code. Shows their property here, pin, and then all the sales around that property, and then what the estimate is as far as value for their property. And here's the sales again, right? But it also, when they first get to this page, it asks them, can you confirm that your home is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, whatever it is, right? The characteristics, and they're gonna say, yes, it is, and it's gonna show them this information. And it's got my picture, my contact information, all that stuff, and they can email me from here, but they could scan this every time. So like, let me scan. I'm gonna scan this one here. Just so you guys can see. I just scanned the QR code on this flyer. And yes, this information is correct. See, it's asking me, is this your property address? Is this how many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage? And then I'm gonna say, yes, it's correct. And I gotta choose single, let's say single family. Okay. Confirm and update. You guys see?
Mhm.
Took me there. There's a property, but also I'm gonna get an email.
Is that data refreshed to reflect the current?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, it's live. And see, I got an alert. It says, congrats, you have a lead. And I go into the lead and it tells me that I just scanned the QR code. So this is awesome. So the only thing that's not awesome is the price. It's $1 per postcard. That's why you only do this once a year or twice a year.
How is it?
But with that $1, you get the design of the postcard, the template, right? Both sides, the mailing of it, the personalization of the QR code and the pinning on the map and all that. And you get this website for each person, this page for each person. So whoever, scans it, they're gonna see their property and their comps and everything else. So that costs $1 a piece. I think this is awesome. Yes,
How did it send you their email if they weren't populated to put it in?
it didn't send me their email. It sent me an email saying this person logged in.
Okay, but.
Because
what
I
detail do
uploaded,
you-
so when I upload the list of everybody in the farm.
Yeah.
The list contains their name and their address,
Okay,
not their email address.
did you get any new contact information from that lead?
No, but now I know that this person is interested in selling the house. So
Okay.
now what I can do is I can either knock on their door or I can mail them something,
Okay, I
right?
like it.
Yeah.
I understand. Mhm.
But at least I know that
They're
they have
engaging.
interest in selling,
Yeah.
right?
They're-
All right. And that's corefact.com. You guys can create a free account and then you only pay when you send anything out. All right. Now, so paid leads. If you don't want to spend any money on marketing or farming or social media, anything like that, you could spend your money on paid leads. You can spend it on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. I'm sure there's other websites that sell you leads. It's expensive and you're not guaranteed that the leads that they're sending you are good leads, but we have some agents that have a good conversion rate with them. So research, contact these companies, ask them what they charge, and they're gonna charge you per zip code. So every zip code has a market share of agents that are buying a market share in that zip code. And maybe someone dominates and buys half of the market share, so they're gonna get the majority of the leads for that zip code. And when I say leads, it's buyers that are inquiring about properties in that zip code. So if you guys wanna spend your money this way, contact them directly. Now, some housekeeping. Advertising at first point of contact. So anytime you send anything out, advertising related, like advertising your services, you must include your name, designation, realtor, your license number, phone number, and name of responsible broker, in this case, Gold Bank or Platinum Properties. So it must include all of this. That's why now on the open house signs, you have to include this. Before, it could just be open house in your name. Not anymore, it has to have all this. This includes, but is not limited to. Let me move this out of the way because there's a list. Flyers, which is handouts, postcards, door hangers, stationery, things like that. Business cards, print ads, whether they're magazine or newspaper, social media ads, electronic media, internet, websites, text messages, telephone calls, emails, television, radio, cinema, streaming, video, audio, and billboards and signs for sale, for lease, and open houses. I think I covered everything.
Everything.
Okay. And let's see here. Disclaimers, this is what the disclaimer looks like that you put on the market updates. Based on information from California Regional Multiple Listing Service, Inc., as of date November 1st to November 30th, 2024, right? In this case. And or the sources, all data, including all measurements and calculations of areas obtained from various sources and has not been or will not be verified by broker or MLS. All information should be independently reviewed and verified for accuracy. Properties may or may not have been listed by the office agent representing the information. The listing broker's offer of compensation is made. This, we got rid of. So there's no compensation being offered, so I gotta update this. But that's the disclaimer you guys can get to the bottom of the market updates.
For what? For
When you
the,
send out a market update. to a
oh,
neighbor,
market update.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you send out the just sold, like these are the properties that sold last month, this is what they sold for, this is the address.
But if you sold one, you don't have to put that on the bottom. right?
No,
If it's
not
your
if you sold,
personal-
no, not if you
okay.
sold. And it has to be in no less than 7-point type.
Too small to read.
It's small enough to read. Yeah. I mean, big enough to read. Dress for success. All right, so. I think I told you, I shared this example with you, so, when you're. Dress like your profession. The example is, if you're a police officer, you have your police uniform, people know you're a police officer. If you're a chef, you have your chef hat, your chef, white chef, people know you're a chef. If you're a real estate professional, trust professional, the example that I have is, we had a realtor years ago that she was marketing a particular neighborhood, and she would always go in her gym clothes with the little tight pants and the little tight shirt and that baseball hat, and she wasn't getting any leads and nobody was calling her, and it was a few different reasons why, but one of the reasons I asked her, so, when you go farming, how do you dress? Oh, no, I want to be the sporty agent, the agent that works out, and the cooking tips agent. And I said, well, what about who dominates that area? Oh, this other agent, this older lady. I said, so how does she dress? Oh, she dresses all like, she dresses up, and, I said, well, I mean, she dresses professional. There was other things involved as well, but come on. I mean, are you gonna contact the realtor that's dressed professionally, or the one that's dressed in workout gear? I mean, you might call the one that's dressed in workout gear for other reasons, right? Hey, can you give me some tips on, what I can do for losing weight, or, toning up, whatever it is. But you're not gonna be looked at seriously. Anyway, so dress the part. And now go market yourself, and any questions?
I don't have a question, I have a comment, which I
Yes.
thought was gonna come up in this, that when people, because I only know this because you had it in one of the other classes I've been in. When people are picking their area to farm, they need to check with you first, another Coldwell Banker Platinum Properties agent isn't already farming it.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, you don't want to market or farm against another one of our agents here in the office. Just doesn't look good. Right?
Would Mary know that, or you?
I think Mary knows.
Okay.
If she doesn't, you can always ask me. But the area you want to farm, we don't have anybody farm. So you're good to go there.
Where are you gonna farm?
Uh-huh. But if I see you there, I'm just kidding.
So, any questions? Anybody at home have questions? Is there still any, did I bore anybody online? Oh, it's just Harriet left. Man, Harriet's a trooper though. She sticks through it.
Who's Harry? Are they-
She's an agent. She's out on Zoom right now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. No questions? So you guys are experts, you know exactly what to do?
I don't have questions right now,
Okay.
but I will.
All right then, that's it.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. That was good.
Very, very welcome.
Now I'm gonna go ask that you about the questions.